does it for me. The mean mugging and the arms out.
Oh, my
This
Lord.
kid looks like he's about to stomp through Tokyo.
Unbelievable.
Godzilla right there.
What sport? Is he still playing hoops? Or he playing football?
Yeah, he's still playing. He's playing both. He still played both. So he's playing AAU basketball right now. But he played football. He played nose guard. But look, I told him you got to get about 10 to 15 pounds off of him to play basketball. So I'm thinking about putting him on that keto diet at an early age. I don't want him looking like me.
Well,
now.
what does he want to play most? What does he like? What does he like most, Kendrick? Does he like basketball or football most? He looked like he liked football, even though he playing basketball.
No, he actually liked basketball, and to be honest, he got way more skills than I ever had. To be honest, you got to see him out there on the court.
Well, listen, I will say this.
Shooting that broke.
Kendrick, I saw his handle.
Like
I saw his handle and driving to the basket. I mean, he's got a nice handle for a big boy. Because you certainly didn't. You didn't have a handle, Kendrick. You didn't have the ball handling skills. You understand?
Here we go. Throwing shade.
You can't put that boy on a diet. He's hungry. Look at him. He likes to eat.
Oh,
That's just the way it is.
I'm just saying.
You can't put your 9-year-old on keto. That's not right. Let the kid eat a carb.
Appetite.
Gotta live.
That brother, boy, he
Oh,
gonna
my
beat
God.
up some people. I'm just telling you right now. Listen, he'd be an enforcer for me. I'm telling you right now. The Knicks could use him now.
Stephen A. wants
The Knicks could use him now.
Watch out,
Not to
Juvie.
mention the
Stephen A.
Giants.
wants it for security. All right, Perk, let's be serious here, though, because I'm a little bit confused. The big three, I don't know what the deal is. First time they all play together, they get beat by the Cavs. What's your biggest worry with them?
Well, it's the defensive side of it, Molly. Look, offensively, they're going to score buckets, right? But look, on the offensive end, let me address this first. Steve Nash is going to have to emphasize the word sacrifice. Kyrie Irving, who had been out his first game back, he comes out and take 28 shots. Now, he was balling. I get that. But if you're on a championship contender, and I heard an interview from Kevin Durant saying, yeah, James and I, back in the day, we were young boys, but we're grown men. Well, since y'all grown men, y'all have to address what's going on, because if I'm Joe Harris, a guy that they paid $72 million to get buckets and to shoot the ball, I don't want to be just standing in the corner not being able to get touches. You're going to need those guys in the long haul, especially in the postseason, to make shots. Role players help you win games in the playoffs. Defensively, they couldn't guard Stephen A., Max, Molly, and myself on the court right now. I mean, they're just giving up whatever. The Cavs shot 50% from the field and 50% from the three. And I said this when they lost Jared Allen. That was a huge blow. No knock on DeAndre Jordan, but he's just not there right now. It was so bad that they moved KD to the 5 last night. And I just didn't like it. They have to find a defensive identity, because right now, people are looking at them and licking their chops knowing that, hey, I could go drop 42 points, or should I say, give them 4,200 buns.
Kendrick, just like I said to Max, I'm not disagreeing about the defense. What I'm saying that it's clear they have to fix that. But the reason I bring up their offense, even though I know they're gonna score buckets, it's got to be a problem if Kyrie Irving, even though he was flat out balling. First of all, when you taking difficult shots late and the ball is not in Kevin Durant's hands, and number two, you take 24 shots to James Harden's 14. I don't think that's something that could happen. Everybody know you got to come together defensively. You can't just let people score 120, 130, or 40 on you. But offensively, how in God's name do you shoot twice as many times as James Harden?
Well, I think that's on Steve Nash, Stephen A., because I said this yesterday to Dominique on First Take. I said, listen, if I'm Steve Nash, I'm using Kyrie like a 6-man. And that doesn't mean I'm not starting him, but that means that I'm going to play him probably the first 6 minutes of the first quarter, and then I'm going to bring him in the start of the second to help the bench out and let Kyrie rock out. If you look at their bench production last night, they had 10 points from the bench. 10 points. So what I'm saying is James Harden is doing a great job of facilitating. So you take Kyrie out early, and now you allow guys like Joe Harris, You allow guys like DeAndre Jordan and Jeff Green to get shots at the basket and let Kyrie come in off the bench and just say, here, Kyrie, go off, do what you do best, and that's score the damn basketball.
Perk, you and I see it exactly alike, with one exception. Kyrie can't continue to do what he did, but I don't mind a dude just getting back, not getting in his own head. Oh, I got to defer. I can't take shots. Kyrie just went out, did his thing. If that continues, if he's shooting 28 times, that's a problem. I didn't mind it first game back. But I want to get to what you said about defensive identity. They need to get defensive rebounds. Like, they need to be able to get some defensive rebounds. And without Jared Allen on the team, where's that going to come from? Do you think it's defensive identity, like they can solve it with who they have on their roster? Or do you think they need to add a piece to do that kind of dirty work?
No, I actually think they need to add a few pieces. And like I said, there's no knock on DeAndre Jordan because I still believe that he's a backup center in the league. But another thing that I saw last night, Max, was that the defensive scheme. Like, I don't know why they had DeAndre Jordan in a drop coverage. Like, looking at them defensively in the pick and roll, he was in a drop. And I saw so many times that the Cavs were running pick and rolls and Colin Sexton was coming off and doing 1-2 pull-ups and DeAndre Jordan was just dropping back. And then sometimes he didn't know if he was switching or not. So they all have to get on the same page. But at the end of the day, Steve Nash going to have to hold KD accountable. He's going to have to hold Kyrie accountable. And he's going to have to hold James Harden accountable on the defensive end. Because guess what? All the big threes, people could say what they want about Steph and Klay. But I tell you what, that Golden State Warrior team, when they was going to the finals and winning those championships, everybody was praising their offense, but guess what they were ranked? They were always ranked top 3 defensively in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
All the time, even the Celtic team and the Heat team.
Mm-hmm. All right, I want to get your take on something else because Max is real high on Joel Embiid right now, and I need to know if you think he needs to pump the brakes. So here's the deal. Embiid continued a strong start to the season, 42 points, 10 rebound performance, leading his team to a 117-109 victory over the Celtics last night. One person not impressed with Embiid's work was Boston's Marcus Smart. Take a listen.
We got our hands up a lot of the times, and, he flails and he gets the call. And then down on the other end, we got our guys attacking the rim, getting a lot of contact, and we're just not getting the whistle. It's tough to play like that, and it's tough. I mean, if the roles are reversed, I do it every time. I mean, I'll be on too. If every time I threw my arms up or every time I got touched, I'm going to the free throw line. I mean, it's kind of hard not to get into a rhythm that way when you shoot 21 free throws alone. And they allow you to hack on the other end. Marcus Smart just told me that I flail a lot. Come on. I'm sure he knows himself and he knows his game too. He does a lot of that. And I don't think I do. The game is physical. Other teams tend to try to be extra physical against me. And I guess I'm just smarter than everybody else. I just take advantage of it.
He's just smarter than everybody else. Max, I'll start with you. So obviously, flopping accusation aside, he is averaging 26 and 11 right now. Is he, Joel Embiid, your MVP?
So far this season, yes. First of all, his team has the best record in the conference, and it's largely because of him. And it's not just the offense. And you see what the kind of business he gives guys like Tristan Thompson and Tice. Those guys are no match for Embiid. For all the kind of small ball that they play now, Embiid combines some of those skills with some classic big man skills, and there's really not a lot of guys who can match up with him just physically. On offense, gave him 42 points. But defensively, especially in the start of this season, I thought he's been the best player on the team, and Ben Simmons coming back from injury. But Embiid has an enormous impact on defense. So if you're having that kind of impact on both sides of the floor, and your team is the best record in the conference, to me, you're the MVP so far.
Please. I don't even want to hear it. It's Kevin Durant. It's Kevin Durant right now. Let me tell you something right now. Don't look like that, big boy. Kendrick Perkins, you heard me. Kevin Durant right now is more of an MVP than Joel Embiid. The brother averaging 30, 54%, shooting 48% from three-point range. This brother, by the way, Kyrie Irving disappeared for 7 games. Kevin Durant was still flowing. Okay, James Harden came back for the last 3. You know, they won the first 2, and then they lost last night. Let me tell you something right now. You look at KD, 18-month hiatus on an Achilles tear, and then comes back and doesn't look like he's missed a beat. It's one thing if this was the middle of the season. No, he came back immediately looking like KD. And oh, by the way, when you talk about the Philadelphia 76ers, I want y'all to pay attention to something. You know what? I'm just done thinking about the Curry. I'm tired of mentioning this. I've just decided it's all about Curry. Just like little Kendrick Perkins, a.k.a. Stone, okay? Just like he doing his thing on the basketball court and the football field. Look at what the hell Steph Curry doing. You got Daddy Curry doing his thing for years. Then you got Steph Curry being the greatest shooter since man, all right? And look at Seth Curry. Look at Seth Curry in Philadelphia right now. Averaging 17 a game. Yeah. Shooting about 60% from the field, about 59% from
playing more than he did in the past, too.
I mean, my God, if you're a Curry, you can shoot, damn it. All right, and that helps because Ben Simmons clearly still can't shoot, only averaging less than 13 a game and stuff like that. But I'm just saying, collectively, with Maxey and Embiid and Curry and Tobias Harris balling and all of this, and Thibault and these boys, I'm looking in Brooklyn. It's KD all day, every day. I mean, just look at this brother right here. Clearly to me, when I think about KD, he going to win 2 awards this year. He going to win MVP, and he going to win Comeback Player of the Year.
Well, look, Stephen A., listen, I'm not totally disagreeing with you about nothing that you're saying about Kevin Durant. He's flat out balling. But we already knew this. The only person that didn't know and had suspicion was Max about, is KD gonna be all right? Because almost always after Achilles tear, you don't be the same player. We know KD is a walking bucket. We know that if he wanted to, he could lead the league in scoring every single year. He's just that type of a talent. But if you look at Joel Embiid and the impact that he's having the best career. I mean, yes, he's having the best season of his career right now. And I said this, once they got Doc Rivers, I knew he was going to elevate and challenge Joel Embiid. He looks in phenomenal shape. And then everybody talk about, Joel, you need to get your big butt on the block. And rightfully so. But guess what? He's mixing it up. I'm watching them do the one-leg dirt. I'm watching them bring the ball up, 1-2 dribble pull-ups. I'm watching the big fella Euro step down the lane, going to the block, putting ownerships on the ref, attacking the paint, using that big body, quick spin moves. He's giving it all to us right now. The big fella is in his bag. Defensively, he's locked in. And look, I love Marcus Smart, but I don't agree with him about the game last night. Joel Embiid set the tone from the first quarter, right? And that's a rule in the NBA. And what he did was he set the tone for us being physical in the paint and made the refs take notice that, you know what, we're going to live in this paint. We're going to attack the basket. So the refs start seeing the Philadelphia 76ers attack early, so they started getting the whistle. The Boston Celtics was firing up 3-pointers in the first half. So that's why they didn't set the tone for themselves. You can't knock Joel Embiid for being physical and getting to the rack. Right now, Max is right. If I had to give an MVP award to anybody, it would be Joel Embiid.
And one more thing about Embiid. Marcus Smart, who's a very tough player, and he's smart. He's politicking with the refs basically through the media right now. But that's ludicrous that Embiid's getting all these calls. Embiid is right in his response. In fact, he's getting hacked on every play when he gets the ball on the block because there's nothing you can do. And he's getting double and triple teamed, and he's still scoring. Embiid has been phenomenal on both sides of the ball this year so far. And as a result, his team has the best record in the conference. That's an MVP.
That's why he would be the number 2 guy for league MVP. And by the way, don't give me that best record in the conference. James Harden won the league MVP. The Golden State Warriors, the best team in the league. Russell Westbrook won the league MVP. They weren't the number one seed or the team with the best record. There's been plenty of people that have won MVPs that didn't have the best record. That's no criteria here.
They have a dude who's dominating both sides of the floor.
Excuse me, I'm looking at Kevin Durant and what he's bringing to the table. And Kendrick Perkins, I'm accusing you the same thing I'm accusing Shaq of. Big man bias, even though Shaq kind of agreed with me in the end. I think it's big man bias on you, Kendrick Perkins. I think you're being a little bit biased because you're seeing the big boy in the post. You one of those dudes that don't feel that y'all get nearly as much love as you deserve because of how the game has changed. And the big man is being ignored and not nearly appreciated as much as they should. Now, you're probably right about that in terms of there needs to be more appreciation. But I think number 2 in the league MVP is not lacking appreciation. We respect you, Joel Embiid. You big time. But damn it, KD, right now, with all that nonsense going on in Brooklyn, look at how he's been balling from jump.
Well, Stephen A., I could say, I could feel like you being biased right now.
About what?
It's happening in Brooklyn. Because it's happening in Brooklyn.
I'm a Knicks fan.
For you being a fellow New Yorker,
yeah,
you going to be biased towards, one of those New York teams. You know what I'm saying, Molly?
Queens.
So don't give me that about I'm being biased with a big man.
He wants to be with, like, the hype team with all the hoopla around
close enough
and
to
he's
Brooklyn.
with the sad Knicks.
It is close enough, but I don't like the traffic on Atlantic Avenue, so I would be biased against Brooklyn because of that.
Oh, my
That's what
goodness.
Kendrick Perkins missed. This ain't Texas, or we got all that room, all that space on the highway. And by the way, there's two reasons why I wouldn't be supportive. It's the traffic on Atlantic Avenue.
Oh, gosh.
Okay?
There's traffic everywhere in New York.
And the BQE, that's number one.
Cupcake.
And number two, the damn taxes in New York, because in Texas, they don't have any state income tax, okay? So I wouldn't be that biased. And number 3, I'm a Knicks fan, all right? By the way, they're 7-8. They're only a game back.
No one cares.
They're only a game back from being a 500
And you know what, Stephen? I'm tired of hearing you talk about taxes and all this stuff. You spend all your time in the 2 most expensive states.
And you
so
should
just
not
get
be
over
allowed.
it. California and New York. You're never going
Disney
to
World is in
Nashville
Orlando,
or Texas. You're never doing that.
Disney World is in Orlando, Florida, and ESPN won't let me go down there because I guarantee you I would.
Disney, that's a PG, that's a G-rated world. You're not involved there.
You should not be allowed to talk about the Knicks until they're over 500.
All right, I have a
Over
question for
500.
Perk.
You get on Cowboys fans about mediocrity.
Last week we did talk about the Knicks and they were over 500.
I'm talking about right now.
I want to ask
7
Perk
and
a
8.
question. Okay,
7 and 8.
Perk. Embiid's the first Sixers player to drop 40 and 10 on the Celtics since Sir Charles back in '87. So talk to me about this. Do you think he could actually lead them to the finals?
I do, especially with the pieces he have around him. He finally has spacing, and Doc Rivers is putting him in position to be successful. Stephen A. just talked about Steph Curry. He's flat out balling. Danny Green is knocking down shots to making guys honor him. And then you have that young stud coming off the bench and Shake Milton. Hey, look, this kid probably could win 6th Man of the Year the way that he's playing right now. Ben Simmons, he's playing his role. Yes, he's not scoring a lot of points, but defensively, he's there. He's facilitating for others. He's rebounding at a high level. And then, look, let's give some credit to Dwight Howard. Because when he comes in for Joel Embiid, he has been very impactful on the game. And by the way, rumor has it that Dwight Howard has took Joel Embiid under his wing and has been mentoring him about how to stay in shape, meeting him in the weight room, keeping him on his
Stephen
toes
A. got a look on his face, but
being
Stephen
a
A., you can't argue with Dwight Howard's shape.
Yes.
Oh, no.
I would not at all.
So when you said shape, I piped down because Dwight Howard can give advice on how to get in shape.
And he's been Dwight Howard's been valuable
and he's active defensively, no question. But when you talked about mentoring, I was like,
by the way,
did you even a little bit too far? Just a little bit. Did
you even mention Tyrese Maxey and Tobias Harris, who started the year like a house on fire? Like the Sixers are deep.
That's like he says Dwight Howard like mentor. That's like somebody trying to mentor Kendrick Perkins on how to look